Today on Is This Cinema, Brad watches Ironman 2008 for the very first time. I'm excited and terrified.
First three times.
He has to say. You watched it 3 times. And that may or may not be good. We'll find out next.
Kick off this evening with a look at cinema.
It's not cinema, it's something else.
Cinema.
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 Cinema. Cinema.
Beautiful, beautiful cinema.
Welcome to our first show, Is This Cinema? I am Jerry. I am a Marvel fan. I am here with Brad, who
I'm
is...
not.
No, not yet. Brad is a movie fan, to say the least. And
sure.
The premise of this show is I finally got him to
Watch
dip his
everyone.
toe into the entire MCU.
I'm going deep. No agenda whatsoever. I hope I love it.
And you are looking good in your Big Lebowski.
That's right. It's an homage to Obadiah.
Ooh, what do you call that?
It's the dude sweater. It's a knockoff. The real one's like $300. This was from China. This is about $20. And I wore the V-neck too. I'm like, oh man, look at that dirty T-shirt under it.
Yeah, perfect.
I should have worn jellies.
You should be sipping a Caucasian.
Dude, my God, why didn't I?
So Brad is going to break down the nuts and bolts, character arcs as he sees them, and I am going to curate his Marvel watching experience. I'm going to point him in the right direction, fluff his pillow, because you've never seen these movies, and
I never saw a comic book or
understand
anything.
all these
I know
things,
nothing
right?
about these guys.
I want you to give your take on these like character arcs.
Oh, I will.
Throughout,
Yeah.
like several movies and
yeah.
callbacks from other movies. Like,
That's good. That's
you know.
that's what you told me about.
Yes.
Like with that, whatever that final one that you said that was unbelievable. That's what I'm excited to see.
Yeah.
Because that's my favorite part about a good film.
Yeah.
Is the setups and the payoffs. Payoffs do it all, like in the Shawshank Redemption third act. Oh my God.
The only thing he really knows is he says he saw the last part of Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
And he was not impressed.
I don't remember it.
And he knows that there's some movie down the line where all this stuff sort of comes to a head.
Yeah, there's like
that's all
25 movies converge into.
And that's all we're going to tell
And
him?
that's what I'm excited about. I'm excited to see how they do that because that's not easy.
No. So, spoiler warning. I know it is 2022 out there, but in here, we're going to pretend that it's 2008. And we're going to keep Brad as spoiler-free as possible.
Please.
It may be an impossible ask, but for the videos and the comments for a while, we'll just keep it current.
Yes,
And
for
so
sure.
there will be spoilers for Iron Man, but not the wider MCU as of yet.
Nope. I cannot wait to get into it all.
You went totally off reservation when I sent you to watch this movie. You didn't watch the movie.
I read the script first.
Read the script first.
I read it in about an hour.
Do you always do that? Like
I read every script.
Oh, but if you can,
Yeah.
do you prepare to watch a movie by reading the
I
script? Like,
usually it depends on who it like. If it's somebody important that I have to no, I'll watch the movie first.
Yeah. Like you watch these weird, crazy, independent films that no one has ever heard of.
Yeah, yeah. But I love goofy, like horrible horror movies that are PG-13. They're the same exact formula every time, but I like them.
But you just avoid the superhero.
I don't know
movies.
what it is. I've always been turned off instantly by him. Like Favreau. Like I was like Favreau's doing Iron Man. What? He's Favreau.
Been a fan ever since Swingers.
Love it. Love Favreau. Everything is in.
Yeah.
Double down.
And he's not in this movie a lot, surprisingly.
He's the chauffeur.
Yeah.
Hogan, is his name Hogan?
Happy Hogan.
Yeah.
Happy Hogan.
Yep.
But
I didn't even recognize him at first.
Yeah, we'll be seeing more of him for sure.
Good.
All right. So how do you want to do this? Do you want to tell me what you think of it finally?
Sure.
Or
Okay. Yeah. All right. So here's what I think of it. It's well done. I would never pay to see it.
really?
Yeah. And it's crazy to say that. And it's Favreau, Robert Downey Jr., Jeff Bridges. Those are
Gwyneth
two of my
Paltrow.
favorite actors.
Yeah. Oh, well, so you said it's well done.
It's
but you
well
would
done
never
because
watch,
Downey
but you would
Jr.
never
is-
pay to see it.
I have it written down right here.
Okay.
So one of the first things I wrote is right here. No one else could play this character.
No.
Tom Cruise would have been a joke in
Yes.
this character. Tom Cruise is he's a little bit too sneery. Robert Downey Jr. has got the I wrote down here, right? He's got that irreverence, that like silver tongue, quick machine gun irreverence about him that he does in every movie.
Yes.
Like a due date. Like in every movie he's in, he's got that, he could talk a mile a minute.
Yeah.
With a straight face and just be a prick.
Yes.
He's a great prick.
As Jon Favreau called him, they wanted to cast a likable asshole.
Yeah. That's dude, I wrote that. I said, the machine gun irreverence, he is perfect.
In the Tony Stark in the comic book is more what you're describing Tom Cruise would be.
Okay, so
when
more like a
everyone
little,
was
like
thinking,
a little, like a little
me?
persnickety.
Yes. So the character that was created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby in the 1960s was based off of Howard Hughes,
Okay.
the Aviator.
Yeah. Okay. So more of a polished.
Very smart, but not that. Not like you say.
He's so irreverent. He does not give a shit about
witty,
anything. So here's the first thing I wrote.
Okay.
During that scene in Humvee, when he was
the fun V.
Like, just as soon as you see Downey Jr., I'm like, this is just, it's quintessential. He's exactly who he should be. But he's an excellent, lovable loser too. Like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. He's amazing at it. He's not an asshole at all. He's a total sweetheart, and he does that amazing. This guy is one of the best.
Yeah,
he's one of my favorites. He's one of the best. I think. The first thing I wrote was I could already tell I'm not going to be challenged at all during this movie.
What does that mean?
Like, they're not looking to make you think. They're just looking to show you spectacle. They're not. You're not going in there to be challenged by an ideal or a theme.
Okay.
The theme is secondary, which the theme is so blatant. He goes from being a warmonger to realizing that he's been killing people his whole life, so now he's going to change. It's easy. It's blatant. It's a formula. Mm-hmm. It's blatant. They did it. That's how they should have done it. They did it right. And it's easy. And it worked. That's why it's easy, because it works. So I said, this is going to be pure spectacle. Because he's rattling off lines, bam, 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 bam. And within, 30 seconds, everyone's dead. And he's looking at the bomb that he made.
Yes.
Which is, right away, which is the opening image. So he's being, he's about to be killed by his own creation.
Yes.
Which is a huge thematic element of the whole movie, which is what it's all about. Mm-hmm. This is what I expect.
So far it's exactly what you expected.
All this,
right?
All this crazy, fast talking, snapping, lights in Vegas, and everyone's fast talking, drinking, rolling dice.
They rolled through that pretty quick. Like the womanizing, he forgets his assistant's birthday.
Yeah,
all in that opening sequence.
Yeah. He picks up the reporter.
Right, he picks
at
up the reporter. He makes Rhodey wait at the airport, and then the hilarious, really quippy line. Rhodey's like, "I've been waiting here 3 hours," and Tony walks by. He's like, "We're waiting on you now."
It's like let's go. We're waiting on you. Yeah.
And then they get drunk on the plane.
There's the stewardesses are dancing around in their underwear,
and then
I'm like, this is just it's too much.
Right after he rolls off the plane, does a $1 billion arms deal with the government,
like the Joint Chiefs. He does this amazing pitch.
Right, the Jericho,
which is cool, but it's like it's just
there is a definite uptick in this world in the technology.
I feel like it's a little bit like maybe set in the near future. Like they don't tell you it's
right. Well, it is.
Do they?
It is the current year, but
is it current?
As you will find out as the MCU progresses, there's stuff that happened that progressed.
Because I thought I think I wrote that down here somewhere. I said I hope this is set in the near future because this could never exist.
Right. Well,
with the arc
the arc reactor.
The arc reactor. This and it powers his factory.
Okay, so the battery thing, right? So he has shrapnel in his chest, like in his heart,
from the Jericho,
it's like bouncing around.
Yeah,
and like so the idea is to put a magnet so it
keeps it out.
It keeps it out because if it goes through his heart arteries, he's dead.
Which is
right.
Which is kind of it's an original idea, whatever.
Right.
Like when Pepper sticks her hand in his chest.
Yes, that was pretty gross.
Yeah, she's like, "There's mucus."
It's like it's not mucus. It's blah 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 discharge.
That's you know what
it stinks. He's like, yeah, it does.
She's the only one in the whole movie who he shows him his real self to. That's that's the whole purpose of her character.
Yes,
is to show you that he's actually not a complete prick.
You want to talk about the cave scene?
Yes, I do.
Upon the rewatch, I forgot how cool Tony's first suit is. I don't know if you picked up on this, but it's referred to as the Mark I because as soon as he gets back, He
That's
starts
in this.
working on the Mark II.
That's in the script.
In this movie, we saw the Mark I, the Mark II, and the Mark III.
And what do they call the Jeff Bridges version? The Dynamo?
They call it the Ironmonger.
Okay, it's different in the script.
Is it?
Yeah.
What do they call it?
I want to say it's called the Dynamo. So, all right. So the whole thing when he gets taken hostage, right? That's the catalyst. It's also the opening of the film, but it's that's like the inciting incident. And so the act, so the second act starts on a good note. I like the cave. I like the whole part. I like the whole section. Those like 20 minutes. That they were cool. It's nothing new.
Sure.
It's like the Count of Monte Cristo. It's cool. I like it. He's in jail.
Exactly.
He meets the guys and help him escape. When Yinsen or whatever is telling him, he's like, do you want that to be your legacy? Your life's work in their hands?
Yes.
So he's going to do something. Mm-hmm. And then, it starts off bam, bam, bam. He's like, I need this, I need that. Give me this, I need that. So that's the whole start of the whole second act. That's when it starts getting good. I like that part.
Okay.
All right. It gets really good. He's building a suit, the palladium. Mm-hmm. I don't know how they don't realize that he's not making a bomb when they're watching him on video. And there's like
Fair.
these,
Okay.
but he's kind of a moron. Like that terrorist is kind of an idiot.
Yes.
Because he's kind of an idiot. Mm-hmm. Think about this. Every movie, little side note, when they get saved by a helicopter, you never hear these giant, huge helicopters until they're right on top of you.
Yeah.
You would hear that thing a mile and a half away.
Yeah.
But he's like walking.
Sure.
All of a sudden, there's a helicopter on top of him, like Black Hawk.
Yeah.
Like chopping, So, all right.
And then Rhodey's first line out of that I love is like, how was the fun, V?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. All right. So he's been flying around, building this suit, finally gets it. Midpoint. Now he knows that Obadiah isn't his friend. Mm-hmm. It's a whole new direction for Tony Stark. The terrorists, the government doesn't like him because he's taking out jets and shit,
Yeah.
So they don't like him. So now he knows that
He's very lucky to have Rhodey on the inside.
he's on the right. He would have gone to prison for that.
Oh, yeah,
Brody.
for sure.
He would have been court-martialed in a second.
Well, he went on a vigilante mission in an active war zone.
why you want a breath?
Basically wiped out terror, single-handedly.
Takes a plane out.
Right, yeah.
Takes his whole wing out.
Well, as he'll point out, technically the plane hit him.
He hit me though. Right. Yeah. So all right. The midpoint. So now he's like, it's a whole different story. Now, he's after going after terrorists. He knows that his inner circle's closing in on him. It's a whole different direction.
Right. And I love Jeff Bridges. I like him better as a mentor in this movie because when he takes the villain turn, I think he goes a little bit too far off the deep edge. But
The shaved head is a little too much.
maybe a good one is when he brought back the pizza from New York.
Yeah.
When he had the bad news.
Yeah.
It's like, fine, Tony, you take the arc reactor, but I'm taking the pizza.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You take one.
Yeah.
Take two.
Yeah.
Take two.
Right,
I love that moment. Also, the other moment where I feel Bridges was very menacing, but I thought it was when he was sitting there with Pepper in the office.
No, yeah, that was great.
And he was like,
he's like, you're a very uncommon woman, or
Yes.
you're a very unique woman.
very menacing. in
He's
that scene.
scary. So what I liked most about this movie, maybe my favorite part about it, is that they made Tony Stark have to work his ass off to become a superhero. It wasn't easy. He wasn't born that way. Like Thor and Superman and Spider-Man. Like he had to become it through blood and toil and sweat.
You like that as a part of Tony Stark's
Yes,
character.
he's not born a superhero. He's an anti-hero. And they showed him, obviously they have 2 hours to work with, but they showed him working his off over 3 months to build a suit, number one. Number two, the whole section where he's playing with and testing his suit and crashing and freezing and turning into ice.
The icing problem.
Yeah. They're like, we're going to make him work. Like he fails. He fails a lot, which is
Mostly
not like
public
him.
is what he said.
Which is not like
All
him.
of my failings have been mostly public.
Yeah. Which the Downey Jr.'s have been very public.
That's why.
That's why he's
Favreau wanted
perfect,
him.
dude.
Did
It's
you
a
like
joke.
it enough to want to see more?
I want to see more because I want to get to Shane Black.
Okay, I can't wait till we get to that.
Dude, that's what I'm waiting for.
But first,
Even beyond that, I'm gonna go beyond. But Downey, Favreau, Sam Jackson, Jeff Bridges, Shane Black. How the f you go wrong?
we are going to see a lot of Samuel L. Jackson going forward.
Good.
Yeah,
That's great.
I do actually have some nitpicks
I have tons
about
of them.
the end.
I got tons of them about the end.
See, not the very
About
end.
the finale.
And I did kind of want to
Race to mix.
True.
They did it right.
And I think Jeff Bridges fell too far off the cliff too fast.
I wrote.
He was picking up, like he's just killing innocent civilians, just
Dude.
like left and right. Like he picked up the woman with the 3 kids, and he's
in
like,
the Volvo.
Oh, and
or whatever.
what
yeah.
did he say? What did he
That's in the
say? What did he
script.
say?
Being dragged by a fucking Volvo.
Collateral damage, Tony.
Yes, yes,
And,
yes.
That I did not like that, and
So,
I didn't like.
dude.
When he was about to kill Pepper.
Dude,
Like, he's just going to execute her in cold
Jerry,
blood.
I wrote the whole
with
thing
the
down.
Bad.
Too much talking.
Your services are no longer
Just enough time
required.
for Iron Man to save the day. Like, you don't talk when you're going to murder somebody. If you're going to murder someone, you're not going to sit there and be like, so now you're going to die.
Right.
It happens in every
Which-
Iron Man.
Yeah, I am Iron Man.
That could
And
have
then
easily been
needle
the
drop.
studio telling them, this is what we're doing.
If they didn't do the Black Sabbath, I am Iron Man after he said that, like,
I was like, I thought that was a little bit,
I-
expected, Iron Man.
expected maybe, but much
Yeah.
needed. Like, you need.
I mean,
Iron
it
Man.
fits. It fits with the little cartoon, with the little slash graphics. Yeah, but I was a little bit, telegraphed. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I needed it. All right, Brad.
So go,
Wrapping up.
go. Am I with Marty?
Did you like? I guess I'll just ask you as simply as possible. Did you like Iron Man?
Am I with Marty or am I against Marty?
Is this movie a comedy or a tragedy?
So far, I'm going to say with Marty.
With Marty.
With Marty.
So,
Not cinema.
No.
Not yet.
I would probably agree that
Feeling
it's not.
themselves out. They're fun in their voice like we are.
Yeah.
Goodfellas, Raging Bull. The man knows cinema.
It's not Raging Bull.
It's not Raging Bull.
Man.
It's not really even Last Temptation of Christ. It's not Kundun. It's not Kundun.
But it is interesting that like heroes like a hero's journey is a cinematic thing unless you put a costume on them, and then all of a sudden it's ridiculous.
You're right. Which is right. You're right. It's look at it's subjective.
Sure.
You know how I feel about Favreau, Terrence Howard, Jeff Bridges, Robert Downey Jr. I mean, all masters of their craft.
You would not by any means call this a shit movie.
No, that's crazy. Right. There's got to be an asshole to do that. Right. Who the am I to judge? No way.
But
300 people put their lives working on this. No.
But it's not a movie that you would go and seek out and watch again.
Never.
No. Interesting. Okay.
No, I won't watch it again.
Okay.
But I'm glad I did.
I'm glad you did
and
too.
I'm looking forward to watching everything from. I'm going to do it with an open mind, and I can't wait for Iron Man Part 3 because Shane Black might change my mind. I'm going with Marty. It's not cinema. Thin and angry. Thin and angry. Thin and angry.
Thin and angry. Thin and angry. Thin and angry. Wow. Yeah.
Wherever you found us, thanks for listening to Is This Cinema. You can follow us along on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. And of course, your favorite podcast feed. Give us a review, follow, and we'll see you next time.